Welcome to Volume 11 RockTalk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music. Your hosts, Rich Hoffa, Rick Lawhorn, and Mark Dunn. RockTalk, Volume 11 Music.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back. We took a little hiatus there for the holidays. Hope you had a great holiday. We did with Christmas and New Year's as well. This is Rock Talk at Volume 11 Music in Fredericksburg, Virginia. I'm Rich.
Rick Lawhorn.
Mark Dunn.
And hey, so just a little bit of housekeeping. The website is up and running. We're going to be adding inventory daily. So keep an eye on that. So we'll be working on some big things as far as that goes. There was a 15% off guitar sale that was going on.
Really?
And it was over with
Wow.
December 31st.
That's so 2024, man.
But I'm extending it another month. In store, I can't advertise it, but if you come in and we'll give you the same discount that the sale was doing. So anyway, today we're going to talk about merchandising and bands and such that do it, and some that do extremely well of it. And the king of merchandising was probably Kiss, and why us stores do it as well. So I'll let you guys kind of kick it off.
Well, based on what you just said, so I remember an interview with Gene Simmons probably about 10, 15 years ago. It was just funny the way he said it. He's like, well, we knew that everybody was getting screwed in the music industry. They're the royalties. Everyone's getting ripped off. So what are we going to do? We got Kiss t-shirts. We got the Kiss Army. We're going to find every way imaginable other than the music itself. And of course the music, they sold their share of albums obviously, but the merchandising is what really kind of took off. And I think they were probably the first to make crazy money on not the music, other aspects.
I wonder what the ratio is between the two of them. I mean, obviously they've sold a crap ton of records.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would venture to say I would think that their merchandising is well overshadows their.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would think so.
You could. I was just thinking about it. I mean, with the amount of stuff that they did, merchandising wise, it put Kiss on.
Were they the first
They
band
could
that had
open
dolls?
up a store.
I think so.
I mean, they could literally open up a
Yeah.
store with
Yeah.
nothing but Kiss stuff.
Have you ever been to a Kiss convention?
No.
It's a store.
Yeah.
It's stores.
Yeah.
Oh, I can
It's
imagine.
booths like a NAMM show with what people have collected over the years. And I have a friend of mine, Ernie Caldenbach, that is in the Kiss Street book. He actually worked for Gene and Paul for a while.
Yeah.
And I had a student in Virginia Beach that was just a young kid that had a massive Kiss fan and just was coming along. And I called up Ernie to see if he just had anything that he would
Right.
hook the kid up with. And this, and it was very cool. He sent us from the Destroyer tour, or maybe Love Gun, I'm not sure. And it was this jacket that you could buy, and it was papered in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this thing, don't look at it, sneeze on it, it's going to come apart. But back in '77, they probably sold that thing for $20 at a show.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like, wow, and something else. So I mean, these guys were geniuses with that.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
totally agree
For sure.
with that.
But I think it's one thing too, is like with merchandising, going to concerts and stuff back in the day. I mean, there was nothing better than getting a cool concert shirt and then wearing it to school the next day, and you're just
Right.
going, "Yeah, I went." I went
Yeah,
to
everybody
see
had that
show,
shirt,
and, and that's the same thing too. Like later on, I got into motocross, and it was going to nationals and buying the cool T-shirt or the dirt bike guy on the back of it and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean it's pretty cool. I mean,
Look at NASCAR.
as far as that. Well, yeah.
I mean, those guys, I've played a few NASCAR events in my time, and my very first one, I was in sticker shock at how much the jackets are that people are wearing, and then each little patch
Right.
is like, you're voting for your favorite team or product or whatever, and they're not free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're buying those patches to put on that $300 jacket.
Oh,
I'm
right. Right.
like, dang.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like, I'm missing something here.
Yeah, I know. Well, Mark, you were saying that the course of merchandising with your gigs are
yeah.
a big part of it.
Well, a couple of things that you find interesting. I mean, we're in the day now where music doesn't necessarily need to be this tangible item that you pick up from a store,
Right.
although they still exist, and thankfully. But because you have instant gratification on your device, right? But at shows, that aspect of buying, merch is still apparent.
Yeah.
And there is a romanticism involved in being able to go to that concert and to the merch booth. And nowadays, a lot of the artists, like myself, make themselves accessible. As back in the day, that wasn't going to happen. I went and saw Steve Morse last year at the Birchmere.
Yeah.
And the whole merch thing was laid out, and he comes out after the show to sign autographs and sell the stuff. That would have never happened in the 80s or the 90s.
No.
And so, I do shows. Obviously, I play cover shows and acoustic shows, but when I do openers or play headliner shows at theaters, to be quite candid, I very rarely even ask for a guarantee. Sometimes there's a nominal one to cover expenses, but I make all of my money to even pay the guys on merchandise sales. And I played with Stephen Pearcy in May, the singer from Rat, doing the anniversary tour from the first Rat album. And we're set up right next to one another. And after my set, it was sold out. And after my set, I came out and I had a line, and I was signing again. And I sold more stuff than him. My gross was more than what I would normally make on a gig.
Right.
Wow.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
that's great. That's
and the thing about it is that there's a reason that there's a Volume 11 hat and a T-shirt and a sticker, because, I'm still new to the Fredericksburg area, and if I hadn't have driven by and seen the store, and also I saw a Volume 11 sticker.
Right.
So that advertisement aspect of it is super important, as well as being able to just have somebody that appreciates your stuff, wear it for you.
Right.
Gets the word out.
Yeah. And that's something big. Like with me, I mean, it's of course I've been in sales and marketing since I was a teenager, but to me, I mean,
20s now, right?
Yeah, a little bit past my 20s. But this was one of the things that I learned early on. And a lot of it's grassroots stuff. It's like the store I used to work at. The owner was really big into yellow, so everything was yellow, and you'd have these bumper stickers, and he put a bumper sticker on every case. And you wouldn't think, I mean, nowadays it's like bumper stickers, that's so old and things like that. But these things, people like putting them on their case.
Yeah.
And I've had, I've walked through parking lots at the mall and seen my bumper stickers on people's cars. And, it's advertisement. It's brought people in. And
if they're at an angle, that's probably from me. I just did it really quickly.
Right. That's it. But that's the thing is, people, see that, what is that? Who is that? Where is it? And then, it draws people in. But, it's fun for me, starting a business and then you're out there, eating dinner somewhere and you see some kid wearing a Volume 11 music shirt. So it makes you feel good when you see that stuff. It's kind of cool. I mean, we do sell the stuff, but it's for me, it's of course we do sell it, but it's the advertisement of it, people walking around with the stuff that brings people in, and it's grassroots, it's old school, but it works, and it still works, and it will always work.
And what else has come back around too is to merchandise is people are buying vinyl again.
Yeah,
obviously.
vinyl.
But like if you have, especially for indie bands, that's become kind of a huge organic groundswell of merchandise. Is like, oh, are you going to release it on vinyl? Because I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Which is completely counterintuitive, but great in the world that we live right now, where everything's on your device. So that's kind of cool.
Well, I think it's that too. Is vinyl's something special. I think for musicians that don't have something on vinyl, I mean, they get really excited about having something that is vinyl, that's really tangible, that's got the picture and stuff in it. It makes you proud of it. I mean, you can get proud of the music and stuff, but if it's just digital, there's nothing. It's
no artwork.
There's no artwork.
Not a Yes album.
Well, when somebody buys an actual album, they are a part of the process, and I think we all play music because we love the process,
right?
But there's the process of having written the music, record the music, and release the music, and then on the other end of it, there's the process of the needle and putting it down, and hearing it,
right?
And so there's a little bit more of a kind of an interaction over space and time with that, but it's almost like you're involved in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, it's the same thing with cooking or anything like
Right.
that. It's
Yeah.
all about the process.
That's a good analogy.
You
That's a
know,
good
it's
analogy.
you know, it's part
Gordon
of it.
Ramsay would approve.
Well, yeah. Well, it's all a recipe.
I'm sorry, Chef.
It's all a recipe, right? But yeah, I mean, it's you know, it's like I like to smoke barbecue, but I don't have one of those electronic. You know, I like the whole thing of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going out there and starting the fire and getting the fire going and getting the meat going and then putting it on and then watching it all day long and then 5
they
or
got
6
apps
o'clock.
for that now.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but it that takes some of the enjoyment out of it. I mean,
Sure.
it does. I think that I like to watch and think what I'm doing, but it also gets me outside of your everyday life because you're concentrating on one thing.
Yeah.
It's just like playing music. It's just like riding a motorcycle. It's doing any type of hobby. That's what it's all about. So I love the process, but I think that the whole thing of going to a show and buying a T-shirt and watching the show and afterwards wearing it's something that you remember. You remember it.
Yeah.
And I think that the T-shirts and stuff like that. I can still remember shirts that I had from back in the day. It's
Well, some of those
cool.
are collectible, like the Kiss stuff for sure. And,
Yeah.
I mean, some of those items that are tour-only items from Kiss back to the beginning of a conversation are worth mad money.
Yeah.
Especially if they're in the, still wrapped.
Yeah.
And it was just, to me, back to the idea of the merch. This was literally a paper thin, cheap, like, what would have probably looked like an Izod Lacoste jacket or something, that kind of cut. But, I mean, I can't emphasize enough how not great the quality was. But that didn't matter.
Didn't matter.
Right,
People
right.
That didn't
they'll
matter.
pay that price.
That's not
yeah.
a diss. It's just an observation.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to see now too. Like when, like I was surprised that Stephen Pearcy's guys, no cut on them, didn't have more stuff.
Right.
I mean, I just was like, oh, well, why not? Because when you go to see Satriani or Vi now, or some of these, or Eric Johnson, or some of they're not Taylor Swift,
Right.
and they're making money on that. That's their tour bus gas money.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the extra, and not just merch, but of course, if you're a local band, nobody wants to do a meet and greet. You're accessible, but for you to pay $180 as opposed to $70 just for the ticket, to be able to have a hang with them and something signed beforehand is
right.
That's it's all. My point is that their availability has become a merchandise now.
Oh, right.
As back in the '90s, you weren't going to get any of that.
Right.
Yeah. Now, is it Stephen Pearcy or was it Rat?
It was Stephen Pearcy.
Okay.
But with all banger players like
Yeah.
The guy from I can't think of his name. Drummer that was in a bunch of bands. Blas Elias on drums.
Okay.
And I can't remember the guitar player's name at the moment because I haven't had any coffee. But they were all LA guys, Las Vegas guys, and they were great. And Steven came out, and he's almost 70, and he's in great shape still, and crushed it, and everybody was into it. And I had a great set ahead of time, and sold a bunch of stuff while he was playing. I almost felt bad because there's a little bit of etiquette. You don't want to detract from the
Right.
But it was on the main floor, and I've done shows at the Beacon with Zebra and with Skunk Baxter where I'm not on the main floor afterwards, and I'm at the merch booth, which is outside of the theater, and that's a little bit more decorum.
Right. Yeah. But I think they're getting into some bigger stuff too. I mean, you've got Iron Maiden's got a beer.
I was just gonna say
they're doing
that,
beers and they're doing bourbons and they're doing
I
they're doing
think
all
Billy
kinds
Gibbons
of
has
stuff.
like a whiskey now.
Yeah,
ZZ
hot
Top,
sauces and things like that.
Dimebag
so.
Darrell's buried in a Kiss casket.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I remember hearing that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If you want to go to the next realm in a Kiss casket,
Talk to Gene.
That's it. So
he'll hook you up.
That's it. That's it. Well, I guess that wraps up this episode of Rock Talk. I think this was number 21.
21. Yeah.
Number 21 in 2012.
They haven't canceled us
So
yet.
it's 2025, and if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really does help out the channel and all that stuff. You guys got any upcoming gigs?
Yeah, where are you playing this weekend?
We're doing a private event. It's a wedding with Cactus Jack out at Log Home Brewery. So
okay.
they kind of rented out the place. They like the band, so they said we want Cactus Jack. So we're gonna be rocking that out on Saturday evening.
Right on.
Great.
And I'm at Six Bears at a goat tomorrow.
Okay.
And tomorrow's, what's the date
You
tomorrow?
going single tomorrow?
Solo tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Sunday I'm up at Two Silos, 12 to 3:30 solo. Just some solo stuff this weekend.
Cool.
So,
Yeah, that's cool. Well, I won't be doing any of that. I'll be working here.
15% off.
Yeah,
50%
pushing these
off
guitars, this
certain
merch, and
guitars.
these hats.
Hey,
Gotta
come in,
go.
buy a
They
hat
gotta
and a
go. This has
t-shirt.
gotta go.
I'll give you a sticker.
Everything's
for
gotta
free.
go.
That's right. It's all got to go all the time. So that concludes Rock Talk. We'll see you next weekend or next week on Thursday, I guess. That'll
Thursday,
be
yeah.
episode
Thursday
22.
at 6 p.m.
6 p.m. Take it easy, everyone. See ya.
This has been an episode of Volume 11 Rock Talk Podcast, brought to you by Volume 11 Music.